3, 2, 1. What's going on, everyone? You're watching Ash on Comics. This is Storytime Live. This is episode... Did I do the... Is this 125 or 126? I think I might have done the wrong... I feel like it's 126, but I forgot to edit the episode number. But it wouldn't be an Ash on Comics show if there wasn't some error. Welcome anyways. Oh, I do have the wrong... Look at that. It's Lois and Clark. It is the wrong episode number. I got in the background here. I got RDV. Let's transition that so I can fix this problem. RDV, welcome. Are you still here? Did you leave?
I'm still here.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I need you to cover this fire that I got to put out. I can't believe I can't believe I didn't notice this. I'm sitting here staring at the wrong stupid thumbnail.
You know what's funny though is that you had the correct one up there, and then it switched to 125 for whatever reason.
Oh, it's because it's in two different places. I have the right one on the YouTube, but I have the wrong one in my Streamlabs. There it is. That's the right one. It is episode. I knew it was episode 126. I can't believe I'm sitting here staring at it the whole time as I'm prepping the screen, and it's not even dawning on me that it's the wrong one. But I guess because they were both white. Maybe that was why. But anyways, welcome everyone, and welcome RDV. Let's see who was first tonight. Oh, it was RDV. Look at that. First in everything. He was even in the you were even in the Discord before I was.
Yeah. I thought Melissa was, because before I even hit enter, it said that I'll see you at 1, but then when I hit enter, all of a sudden she jumped up to 20 minutes after me. I was like, so I don't know. YouTube's weird.
Yeah, YouTube is weird for sure. But I'm gonna count that as a victory. Sometimes you gotta cheat. I mean, you didn't cheat. You didn't hack anything, I'm sure.
No,
tonight's stream brought to you by Stella Artois and apparently Mountain Dew. So I hear you're drinking some Mountain Dew. Is it original Mountain Dew you're drinking?
Of course, I don't know that weird fruity stuff, I guess you'd say.
Oh.
Is there like 13 billion different Mountain Dews now?
There is. There's so many Mountain Dew flavors. I'm actually a really big fan of different flavored Mountain Dews. I mean, the original one's a classic, but that live wire really grew on me over time. Like, it's like one of my favorite. Now that I love it, now that it's grown on me, I can't find it anywhere.
It's funny that you mentioned that, because I'm like, I thought there's 2 orange ones now or something like that. Because I remember when those came out, like Code Red was awesome. Then I got sick of it.
That was another one that grew on me, and that one I can't find. And then the one I loved immediately was Pitch Black. Then they got rid of it. Then they brought it back, and they changed the recipe.
Wasn't that black licorice?
No, it was grape.
It was great. Okay, because I remember I didn't like it. It just didn't taste good to me at all. It was just weird.
The original Pitch Black, which was almost a black Mountain Dew, it was really dark, Welch's grape juice dark. But it was a very subtle grape. It was the way a Mountain Dew drink should be, where it's you can still taste the Mountain Dew, but it's mixed with another flavor. Then they brought it back, and it was really grapey. It tasted like grape candy, like sweet tarts. I was like, oh, what'd you guys do?
I just remember looking at the bottle. It looked like you're drinking motor oil. I was like, no thanks.
Oh, no, it was good. That original one was my favorite.
And then plus, when that's coming out, that was around Halloween and all the different candy corn drinks and stuff like that. I was like, I ain't trying that.
Yeah, I think they didn't market it very good, because they just called it Pitch Black, and no one knew what it was. They're like, why would I want to drink a black Mountain Dew? That sounds gross.
If you're going to have it called Pitch Black, you got to have Vin Diesel as Riddick drinking it, okay? That's the only way I'm going to buy it.
Yeah, or put some grapes on the logo or something, just so people go oh, have some clue to what the flavor is.
I think they learned from that, because that's what they did for watermelon. It has watermelon slices on it.
Yeah, there's that. I haven't been able to see that one. I've heard that's a new one that's out. I like the Voltage a lot too. The blue one.
Yes, it's like a blueberry, isn't it?
I think it's blue raspberry.
A blue raspberry.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, but even that can get sickening after a while. And same with what was the other one? DUSA.
Oh yeah. There was two. There was a do you
Is it red, white, and do or something like that? And then
yeah,
they
the
had
red, white, and do, and then there was a do SA or something like that.
yeah.
One of them was really good, and the other one was really terrible, and I don't remember which was which. There's the white one. Was it the frost? Something frostbite?
I think so. Yeah.
It's like the white one. It's like a grapefruit
Well, yeah.
one.
It was called. That was called Whiteout.
Whiteout. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was good too. And then there's one of my favorites. Well, actually, you got to talk about the exclusive ones. You got the Baja Blast at Taco Bell. That one's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like the Baja Blast and the Sangria. That one's pretty
That's now
good.
in the grocery stores now. Baja Blast finally.
But the one that I'm an addict on is the KFC exclusive, the Sweet Lightning.
You scared me because you said KFC. I'm like, we're not taste like
KFC Mountain Dew. No, it's the exclusive flavor for KFC.
Biscuits and gravy.
Oh, and they used to have a 7-Eleven exclusive flavor, and that one's gone. Did you ever have Solar Flare?
I've heard of it, but I also don't get a lot of soda from 7-Eleven.
Oh, it was an exclusive flavor for 7-Eleven. It was like a Hawaiian Punch kind of Mountain Dew. It was pretty good. I think it probably didn't do that great because it was probably too close to Code Red. But have you had the KFC one, Sweet Lightning?
I don't have a KFC by me anymore.
Oh my god,
they're like extinct.
That's crazy.
I got Popeyes, but each are like 2-hour drives either direction.
The KFC one, man. I gotta go there just to get my Mountain Dew. It's called Sweet Lightning, and it's like a peach Mountain Dew.
Peach Momoko?
No, not peach Momoko. And it was killing me, man, because it's not like real peach. You know how like there's a difference between like real fruit flavors and like the candy equivalent, right? Like candy watermelon doesn't taste like watermelon, right? But you can always taste like the candy watermelon flavor when you taste it. You're like, oh, watermelon, or like candy orange, or So it had this flavor, and I was for months I'm like drinking it, and I'm like, what the hell is this flavor? I can't. It feels familiar, but I can't make it out. And then I finally went on Google, and I was like, oh damn it, someone's got to know what this is. Like I was like, and it's peach and something else, but I was like, oh, I guess I can kind of sense the peach now. It's a weird flavor, but it's good. It's really good, and apparently it was scientifically designed to go with KFC. Their flavors there, so.
Whenever somebody says sweet, I think of like sweet and sour sauce. I was like, you're saying Sweet Lightning. I'm thinking like, no thanks.
Yeah, I think it's like supposed to be like a sweet tea, like a peach sweet tea kind of flavor with Mountain Dew. It's weird. You have to taste it to understand.
Oh, gosh.
I wish they'd sold it in cans or bottles. Like I'd buy that shit.
Right.
But you can't. That's what get you to go to KFC. So let's see. Eric Breen is number 2, and we all will know what number 2 is. He says, Ash.
No, number 2 is the guy with the eye patch. Austin Powers. Don't you remember? Number 2.
I thought number 2 was the guy on the show The Prisoner.
I never watched The Prisoner.
Miranda is 3rd. What's going on? Melissa's 4th? How does that happen? I don't know. Strange things are afoot. FF2 is in the chat. I haven't seen him in a while. Yep. Good to see you, FF. I think I'm not trying to assume genders. I hear that's a bad thing to do.
Final Fantasy 2 or Fast and Furious 2?
I should say they are in chat. Oh, God, I hate this whole.
This person is in chat.
Remember how simple it used to be that you would just have a male or a female avatar and it was just simple? Just everything's got to be complex nowadays. Joe Corallo is here in the chat. Joe, good to see you. It's always good to see Joe. Funny guy. He's got a comic called Beckstar. Check it out. I don't promote comics too much on here, so
just the ones you read, right?
Just the ones I read, or I would buy. I don't do a lot of promotion of comics just because I don't like to endorse something that I haven't read.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Joe's been a really good guy. He's supported my channel. He's been a friend to talk to on social media, and so I'll try to pay it forward, so to speak. Hopefully your book doesn't suck, Joe, because I'm putting my neck out. I'm sure it won't.
Yeah, it better not suck, or I'm telling Ash.
That's gonna be really awkward, right? Like, I'm sure it'll be better than Bendis. It's got to be better than Bendis, right?
Bendis does have some, but not recently though.
I'm sure it'll
Not
be
a
good.
not a lot. Yep, of course. Any book being put out that's not being put out by Marvel DC is pretty much like already established as being great. That's the way I look at it.
Let's see. Ronnie says, "Hey there, RDV and Ash," and let's see. CW Powerpuff Girls ruin Mojo Jojo. Melissa's always every week when she's on here. She's got to find something. Something was ruined. I guess today it's Powerpuff Girls. I did see that they're doing a live action Powerpuff Girls, and I mean, I'm not a Powerpuff Girls guy, but even then, I'm like, why? How you how you gonna do this? And why would you do this? I don't think anyone was ever watching Powerpuff Girls as a kid and just being like, one day I hope they make this. Like, some things are just meant to stay a cartoon, I think.
Well, yeah, and then Eddie's getting that movie too as well. Can you imagine that? Oh,
No one wants to see a Ren and Stimpy live action. It just works as a cartoon, right? We don't need to see Invader Zim, live action Invader Zim. We don't need that.
When is Rocco's Modern Life getting a live action?
Yeah. Just Hollywood just doesn't have any ideas. FF2 says Dan Abnett's run on Aquaman is one of my favorite out of Rebirth. And then Eric says, "Tisk tisk, how unprofessional." I don't know who he's talking to, but I'm sure it's me. Only you can start ash fires, says Zach Richmond.
Actually, when the fire goes out, all that's left is ash.
That is true. I am all that's left. Code Red is a legitimate flavor, says Zach. So I'm going to put that to the chat actually right now. What is your favorite Mountain Dew flavor that you've ever had? I'm going to tell you what mine is. Mine is Mountain Dew Black Label. Have you ever had Black Label Mountain Dew?
I'm not into the weird stuff like that.
It's not weird. Like, so I can't find them here in California. I don't even know if they're made anymore. In Colorado, they had them. And it was called Mountain Dew Black Label. It came in one of like those oversized cans, like an energy drink.
Was it the grapefruit one?
It was a black currant. I don't know what a black currant. I don't think I've ever tasted a black currant.
Dark berry.
Yeah. Like dark berry, black currant. And it was just called Mountain Dew Black Label. And it came in like a black can. And it looked like a more premium thing. Like the can was a little bit oversized, like a Monster.
Yeah. It was their energy drink they had.
And they weren't energy drinks. They were a premium Mountain Dew.
Deeper, darker dew.
And they were made with real fruit juice. That was part of the thing. They had a black label, and then they came out with a white label, and then eventually a green label. And those were okay, too. The green label was like a sour apple, which was kind of interesting. I forget what the white label one was. They were all good because they were like $2 a can. So you're like...
I think they brought it back, though. Because remember they did the Kickstarts now. An energizing midnight grape.
Yeah, Kickstart's not the same. And Kickstart sucks. I don't understand what Mountain Dew's do. Because they have Kickstart, and they have AMP, and then they have Gamer Fuel. And I'm like, make up your mind. They have 3 different energy drinks. Like, just pick one.
I thought AMP's gone. Is it still around?
No. They have 4 flavors of AMP.
Wow.
Yeah. So you guys tell us what your favorite Mountain Dew flavor is. I'm curious. What's yours? Your original, right?
I like original the best because I don't have to worry about anything like that. Code Red is sweet, but the original you can just pound back a can within like a second and you're done.
That's
Not
true. You can. In fact, that's one of the problems I have with Mountain Dew is I'll get a big old bottle of it and it's glug, 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 glug. You're like, oh, that was gone quick. It's like too smooth.
Right.
I want to say I think Live Wire is probably my favorite, but that's also because like once I fell in love with it, it went away. Like I couldn't find it anymore, and then now I have this like deep craving, and I'm like, oh, I want Live Wire.
When did they come out though? That's what I don't know. When did
Oh, a long time ago. It was like the third flavor because Code Red was the first new flavor they did, and then Live Wire was the second one.
I think you were in your 20s when it came out.
No, I was living in Colorado when it came out.
Early 30s.
Yeah, I had to be in my 30s.
Because I think I was just getting out of high school.
Let's see. So Tehillim's in the house. Good to see you, Tehillim. Let's see. Two guys talking about soft drinks, soda jerks. Oh man, Eric is old enough to remember when they were called soda jerks. Who here read X-Men Legend #2? I haven't even read X-Men Legend #1.
I bought it because I for a little bit I read out the first one. I'm trusting it. It's gonna keep going well because I'm going back and I've been reading the original series. That these are supposed to be like take place in between issues. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I want to see how well it fits.
That is pretty cool, actually. I did notice that about the first one.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, because they like tell you in the beginning this takes place after issue like 193 or something. I forget. And I was like, what? Really? I got to go back and read that issue and then read this. That's kind of
right.
Skibintosh is here. He says, yo-yo. Why you call me a yo-yo? That's not very nice.
Although I'm glad though that they're doing the X-Men Legends thing like that because anything is better than Hickman's X-Men.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Maranya says the prisoner was #6. Well, yes, the character of the prisoner was #6, but the guy who captured him was #2. Remember that? You are #6. I am #2. Who is #1? Let's see. RDV would be a great as the voice of Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, along with Ash on Comics doing the voice for Chavez. Oh, they're wanting me to do more America books. I gotta save them. There's only 12.
For sure.
Joe says thank you about the comments about his book, I guess. He says, at the very least, it's sequential art storytelling. Hopefully at the very least. I gotta get down to the chat. Chat is very talkative tonight.
I know. I'm already caught up. I'm waiting for you to get caught up.
FF2 says I'm a guy, but the problem is guy is like a gender neutral term, so I still don't know. FF represents flashbacks. Changing channels pretty soon to get a fresh start. You're changing channels. God. Yeah. I can't even keep. FS says Mountain Dew is okay to me, not my favorite. I'm more of a Sprite and ginger ale kind of guy. Mountain Dew flavor, none. Marani doesn't like Mountain Dew, of course. Of course.
I might detect a tone there.
If they had an Iron Man flavor, she would like it probably.
If Robert Downey Jr. started promoting and drinking it in the Iron Man suit, she'd be all over it.
In Australia, the only way to get fancy Mountain Dew flavors is via sweet import stores. Yeah, you probably pay a pretty penny in that.
In Australia, Mountain Dew is made from the blood of the animals. Probably. You gotta
I bet Australia probably does. You probably do have some crazy. You know how they like? Have you seen how they do like crazy candy flavors on different parts of the world?
Yeah.
Like you can get like in Japan, you can get I think like green tea Kit Kats.
Yep.
And stuff. Like I wonder if like places like Australia have like crazy, like Vegemite Mountain Dew. Do they have Vegemite Mountain Dew, Tehillim? And what is the appeal of Vegemite? Something Australians only know.
Vegemite, you're only supposed to have a little bit. So I hope it's not that flavor. It's gotta be a lot. You die. It's like butter. What I've heard it described as. So you only want to have a little bit just for flavor, and then that's it. Nothing else. Ugh. That's I imagine they probably like Telium. Do they? You guys have like like bets like I'll eat a pound of this for $100, bro, and not puke.
I don't know.
Ugh.
I've never actually had Vegemite. I make fun of it because other people make fun of it. But Eric says Mountain Dew is one of the few soft drinks that I can drink regular or diet. I don't need more flavors than Baskin Robbins. Heresy. You do. You need all the flavors of Mountain Dew. Also, by the way, I just noticed they have Mountain Dew Zero now. I just saw this. It was like they have the Coke Zeros. Now Pepsi's doing Coke Zero, so they're putting across their brand. And I saw Dr. Pepper Zero the other day too. And I gotta tell you, I don't know why this is exciting to me because this is diet soda, but diet soda sucks. But dude, Coke Zero is like legit. I can totally drink Coke Zero. Or Pepsi Zero actually is pretty good too. But Diet Pepsi and Diet Coke, it's like, whoa. Let's see. Hickman's X-Men's are complete monsters. Just binged all 4 available episodes of Invincible. There's a 4th episode of Invincible? I gotta go watch it. Have you seen Invincible yet?
Yeah, it's supposed to come out today, right? Every Friday. First 3 were last week, and then I guess we're leading 1 a week.
Well,
starting today.
It's not Friday here yet, so yes,
I
did hear it was Fridays that it was supposed to. It's hard to keep up on this. So
it's
you have seen the 3 episodes then.
Oh my gosh! Like I said, I'm not spoiling it. I said whatever your opinion is of the first episode, wait till you get to the end, and then tell me if it's still the same. That's all I'm gonna say.
Episode 1 has a pretty big like what the F moment. It's a pretty shocker. I'm just gonna say one thing about this show. Don't watch this with kids. Like, this is not a kid show.
No.
And this is the thing that bothers me about this show, is because it's presented like a kid show.
Mm-hmm.
You watch this show and it looks like this could be Young Justice.
Yeah.
It could be one of the DC animated shows. It has a very similar feel. The language, the writing, it just feels like that. It's the main characters are all kids in high school. And then it starts going into like adult topics and you're just like, what? And it throws you for a loop.
Well, it does say TV mature.
I don't ever pay attention to that because I don't have kids that I have to worry about, and like I don't censor stuff for myself per se. I don't want to watch way over the top nonsense, but so I didn't pay attention. Like I didn't notice that. And go ahead.
As far as it being a Kirkman show, Kirkman comic, I figured there's gonna be something that's you're not gonna want your kids to see because that's how Oblivion Song kind of is, and that
Oblivion Song is not that bad.
It's creepy, man. If they turn it into
it's got a little creepy moments, but it does not have. Dude, this is like berserker level violence.
I would say it's more like The Boys.
Yes, you're okay. So here's a good point. This is where I was going with that. When you watch The Boys feels like an adult show at every moment. Even when there's not like violence or sex, it's written with a tone like this is for adults. Like it's not a kid show. It's not presented like a kid show in any way, shape, or form.
Yes.
So when certain things happen in that show, it's very mature audience like, but you're kind of okay. You kind of roll with it, and you're like, okay, I'm watching R-rated content. You watch Invincible, and that first episode, like the first 3/4 of that episode, it's just like, hey, I'm watching young, like it's a kids show. Yeah. It's like, whoa. It was. I think probably that's kind of the point is when you get to the end of the episode, it throws you for a loop. I just imagine a lot of parents maybe going, hey, I could sit down and watch this with my kids.
I started reading the beginning of the comics to see how different it is. It is a little bit different in the show. It's a little more mature that I noticed. But man, the Kirkman, like I said, this and Walking Dead are going to be like my 2 favorites. I like the Oblivion song. You know, it's for what it is. And I also like what's the other one he's doing or was working on? Firepower. You know, I'm because now after reading these two comics, like The Walking Dead and Invincible, I'm thinking like, is Firepower gonna go like all like crazy now?
Yeah, I
It's,
mean, I haven't. Walking Dead, I could imagine being violent, and when you watch the Walking Dead TV show, again, it feels like a show for adults. So when you see the gore and the violence, it doesn't feel out of place.
no,
You're not
no.
like,
Well, yeah,
you
it's you
know,
know what it is. It's zombies. Of course,
yeah,
if someone's not getting their arm ripped off or just torn to pieces, I'm like, this isn't a zombie show.
yeah. So that was a little. I'm a little bit weirded out by that, but the show's overall pretty interesting. I'm looking. I find myself wanting to come back for more, so that's a good sign. I'm gonna probably watch the episode after we
Dude,
finish.
it's Jonah Jameson, the actor from the Sam Raimi movies.
Yeah. Forgot I had the J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, dude. The credits from that show. There's a lot of big names.
Yeah, it's Glenn from The Walking Dead is the main character. He plays Mark.
Yeah.
The woman they have they're called the Global Guardians. They're basically like a Justice League kind of like parody.
Yeah. They're totally the Justice League.
There's like some Wonder Woman like rip off on there, and she's voiced by the girl who played Maggie Green, aka Lauren Cohan.
Yeah.
So and then you also have the guy who played Morgan in The Walking Dead. He's in there too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot. It's a lot of different names are popping up in there. Kirkman's, people that they work with, and I think that's kind of cool that he's actually bringing in people he worked with versus nobody's. But because he's. I mean,
well, I was shocked that like J.K. Simmons was in a role. Like I was like, geez, there's the weird thing is they didn't need big names. I don't think.
No.
You could just use normal voice actor talent. It's not like. I don't think it really makes a difference for me. I mean, J.K. Simmons being Omni-Man, I guess it's kind of cool. But if you would have just had a good voice actor being Omni-Man, it would have worked. So I'm just hoping it doesn't mess with like the budgets and things like that, because that's a problem when you take like actual TV and movie stars and you throw them in that. Like they have other schedules that get in the way, and voice acting is usually low priority for them. So. I just hope it doesn't affect production of the show in any way.
Yeah, you gotta get on the Walking Dead thing. Jimmy's reading it. He's reading the colored ones for the first time. He's loving it. He's like doing what everybody else did when it came out. He's like patiently waiting for it to come out the next issue. He's like, I love it so much. He's like, I'm like, yeah, that's how.
I don't understand Jimmy. He won't. He's the one that got me onto Firepower, and he won't read that issue to issue. But then he's got Walking Dead, which is already in the trades. You already can read it, and he's actually reading those issue to issue, and I'm like, I just don't.
Well,
I don't understand.
I found out the compendium actually was cutting out like parts of like some of the issues. As me and Pixel were reading them, I was like, dude, you didn't get that Christmas one? And he's like, no, it wasn't in the book. It's like outrage because Because like apparently it wasn't considered a main story. It was just like
yeah, the compendiums just have the straight up issues. So if there's any specials, like it doesn't have the Brian K. Vaughan did a mini series of Walking Dead. Did you read?
Was that a spinoff series? I didn't read that.
Yeah, it was like a mini series that he did. It takes place in Europe. But it's by Brian K. Vaughan, the guy who does what's the other big comic at Image, Saga.
Yeah. I'll have to look it up though.
Yeah, that's not in the omnibuses either. Eric has left us. Eric has left the building. He never stays.
That's Eric Chavez for you. When you're 1 minute and gone next day.
When you're a big movie star, he's like the big stars when they go on the Tonight Show. This is how you know the big stars versus like the low B level stars. The big stars don't stay. When they show up and they like after their segment's done, they're gone. But the ones that like stay on the couch afterwards for the other guests, those are the low level stars. Eric is the A-list star. He's always leaves early.
And I'm like John Rickles. I just walk on whenever I want
to. Yeah, that's true. You kind of are. I more like to think of you as Annie Richter, but.
Oh, thanks.
FF2 says I'm male. Oh, okay. Good.
Just,
I would hate to think I was misgendering anyone.
you better be nice to me or I'm gonna break this couch.
Please don't break my couch. Marania says, "What is Invincible airing on? A streaming service that I don't have?" It's airing on
Amazon.
Amazon Prime. Everyone should have Amazon Prime. Hopefully, Amazon just keeps getting better and better. Like I've been an Amazon Prime person since it just was Prime, and then they like added the music service, and then they added the movies, and then they added the Kindle stuff, like all this extra stuff, and it's like awesome. It keeps getting better and better. But I was just paying for the free shipping.
There's so much cool stuff coming out right now. Like you even have they're finally releasing the Long Halloween animated movie they made with Jensen Ackles playing Batman, and they have the late Glee star, the one that drowned last year, and she's the one that saved her 4-year-old son from their boating accident. She plays Catwoman in there, and like I said, it's there's so much nerd stuff out right now. Invincible, Walking Dead, whether you like the show or not, it's nice to see something on there that's you can compare it to the comic. I know the comics are way better. I agree with FF2. I said he loved the comics, he didn't care for the show.
Right.
But like the show is taking a different approach for the final season, so they're adding new stuff. So it's so it's kind of it neat to see something else, whatever instead of getting like, well, I already know what's coming up. It'd be boring to me if I already know how it's going to end.
Oh, for sure. There's sometimes when you do an adaptation and it should stay the same. Like I really appreciate this with manga and anime. A lot of anime adaptations will follow the manga very closely.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that. Like My Hero Academia is a good example. Oftentimes you'll get more detail out of the manga than you will, which is fine. That's how it should be. But it won't go off in weird directions and things. But the way American adaptations go, you just know, and I'm okay with that, honestly. Like The Boys is a great example. The Boys is a fantastic show, but it's got a major fundamental difference of the comics, and I find it to be totally cool because I enjoy both of them, and I feel like I get to have the best of both worlds. I have two different versions of The Boys rather than one done twice. Because ultimately if you do something that's a straight up adaptation and one is going to be just straight up better than the other. And then it basically obsoletes the other one. You're just like, well, what's the even point of, the one I like? It's like Lord of the Rings. I never want to read Lord of the Rings again because the movies to me are better.
I saw how big those books are. I'm like, I watched the movie. I'm good.
The books aren't that thick. It's one book that they chopped into 3.
That's gonna be one giant book.
You're like, it's more than 20 pages, like a comic.
Hey, I've gone up to 72-page comic books. Okay, I can read that much.
Wow, I take that back then.
I've read big books before. I read the freaking Michael Crichton, The Lost World, that I read, like the Running Man, all that stuff. It's just like
those aren't that big, RDB.
Hey, I was reading back with middle school.
For middle schooler, they're big.
But since then, I've just been sticking to comic books because I just enjoy the stories more. I don't care if it's 32 pages or 72 pages. I enjoy it no matter what. Of course, unless they can ruin the character. I don't know. That's a different story.
I forget what I was going on with the books. I totally lost track. What were we talking about? Books.
Walking Dead was the books.
No, we're talking about actual books.
Well, actual books. I'm sorry.
Why were we talking about that? I forgot.
Because at least the Lord of the Rings was a big, huge.
Oh yeah. I was saying like I don't want to watch. Sorry, I don't need to read Lord of the Rings ever again because the movies are just like the better version. And it's like the movies didn't change a whole lot. They pretty much kept. I mean, they made some little tweaks here and there, and some things are slightly different, but overall, the story is the same story. And I don't. That's what I'm talking about, like the obsolescence. But with like The Boys, you watch the TV show, the comics are way different. Like you are not like one. You may like one better than the other, but the story that happens in the comics is a different story.
I feel like the comic's nicer to you, in a sense. What happens versus the what happened like with Butcher in the TV series.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, you gave me hope.
Yeah. Let's see. So the Walking Dead comic is I've only read a couple of the comics. It's obviously going to be better than the show. I stopped watching the Walking Dead show during season 4 because the writing just got so bad for me. It wasn't because they were making changes. In fact, I didn't know what changes they might, because I only read a few Walking Dead comics, so none of that bothered me. But you just had a fundamental feel that they had a change in the direction of the show. Like the first season was so good, and then season 2 was pretty good too, and then it just started going off the rails in season 3. And you could tell that when they fired Darabont, the showrunner, after season 1, it was like, or was it after season 1 or after season 2? One of the two. They fired him, and the show just changed, and the writing just became stupid, and the characters. Because one of the things I loved about Walking Dead is it didn't do the stupid tropes that Hollywood horror tends to do, where the characters always are the most idiotic retards. You're like, oh, like there's like Friday the 13th. There's a monster running around the camp killing everyone. So you focus on a character. I heard something outside. You guys all stay here. I'm going to go check it out. Why would you do this? There's a monster running around killing things. Like, no one in their right mind would do these things. And it drives me up the wall. And one of the things I liked about Walking Dead is the characters acted smartly. Like, oh, you're acting in a way that I believe you would act during a zombie apocalypse. And then Darabont left and everything. And then they didn't act that way. They were acting retarded. Just, like, and I couldn't stand it.
Like Geico commercial. Let's go hide in the shed with all the sharp things.
Yes. I love that commercial so much.
That's every horror movie I watch. And I get the point where I just don't care anymore. Like, the one I liked the most, though, was the remake of Friday the 13th. Like, where Jason actually was smarter in that one. I was like, I was actually cheering him on. I was like, come on, yeah, get that guy, too. He hawks the, or throws the axe at the guy, and it just spins and hits him in the back while he's running away. I was like, yeah. No survivors. That was the first Friday the 13th movie where they actually you almost had two final people. Of course, you could only have one, though. But it really made you think there's going to be like two final people.
Friday the 13th, the original Friday the 13th movie, is one of it's not like a great movie, but conceptually, like the story of Friday, it was so good. And I mean, it set the groundwork for horror movies forever later. The whole camp slasher genre like comes from this movie. And the whole, spoiler alert, Friday the 13th spoiler, 40 years later, there isn't actually a monster. Like, that was like the greatest thing. Like, wait, the monster was actually just the mother all along. Like, it was like a Psycho movie. And I thought that was really cool. And then the ending of that film has like the greatest like second reveal. Like, you're like, oh, the twist was there wasn't a monster all along, and the girl escapes the disaster, and she's on the boat in the lake, and she's like, oh, it's all peaceful. The morning comes, and she's only a survivor, and I guess did the mother get arrested? I can't remember. But then Jason comes out of the water and drags her under, and that's the end. And you're like, what the fuck? What? And I was like, that is such a perfect ending to the movie. And it was so ballsy. And, then of course, every Friday the 13th movie afterwards would really have Jason as the monster. But I love that they like basically were like, no, there's no monsters, don't really exist. It was just this woman all along. And you're like, oh, okay. And then boom, the very end, monster.
So apparently, according to Google, I was going serious. Like, I was just looking up Friday the 13th, and Jason is established his only weakness is water, since he died by drowning. Which doesn't make sense because he's been in the water in other films.
So dumb.
Although he did get thrown into a wood chipper, didn't he, in the remake?
Who knows? Friday the 13th just became stupid after that. They went from this really great concept and a great story, and it just turned into stupid. It just was like, let's have Jason run around chopping up people.
Like, when people mention the first movie, I was thinking, the first thing pops in my mind is Kevin Bacon with the screw going through his neck. That's all I remember. Like, that's until I go back watching. I'm like, oh yeah, the old guy, at the gas station, they're getting gas. The girl hitchhiking in the beginning. But yeah, that's if for its time it was scary, but now like if you update it today, it would just be dumb. It would just they would just make it all CG. It wouldn't have the frame. I don't think it would have the same aspect as they're going for.
So Tehillim says, sorry, you're more to say about Friday the 13th?
No, I was going to say it works where it was because it was at the very beginning. Now, if they tried to make Friday the 13th nowadays with all the horror movies beforehand, it would be as scary, I don't think.
I don't know. This movie's been remade twice.
Yeah, I know.
Friday the 13th is, oh my God. It's been remade so many times. But let's move on from these crappy movies and talk about anime. Tehillim says season 5 of MHA has begun. I've been waiting for this so long. MHA, My Hero Academia, for the normies out there, is one of my favorite animes ever. I love this show. I can't tell you.
Do you think they'll put Deadpool in the animated series now with all the other ones? It's all there in the manga now, right?
Who? What are you talking about?
Deadpool's in the MHA mangas.
Deadpool's in the MHA No, he's not.
Yeah, it was actually leaked that they were putting different heroes into the manga.
No, this is an April Fool's joke.
No, this was before it.
I need proof of this. That's stupid. I can't believe that would be terrible.
Bleeding Cool Shonen Jump starts with Marvel Comics X Shonen Jump starts with My Hero Academia Deadpool.
Now, if it's a separate,
it's not
one off, then fine.
Yeah,
it's not in the actual.
No, not
series.
The one you're watching. No, but that'd be cool if they just threw in there.
Fine. If you want to do a crossover, that fine. I'm cool with that.
But can you imagine if they start throwing other characters in, like Superman is in there, or Sentry?
I don't think they would really fit. I don't think. I don't think they would fit. I don't know. I will see how they do it. Speaking of remakes, Suicide Squad trailers are ridiculously amazing. Well, let's remember that the original Suicide Squad trailers were pretty darn good too. So, Lord is in the house. Oh, hey, Lord, you snuck in. Okay, we got something to talk about before we get on to the main topic.
Let's give them something to talk about.
Let's give them something to talk about. I can't believe I just sung Shania Twain on my channel. This has been a big story, and I'm a little bit late to it. So if you've already heard about this, well, sorry. But DC Comics, in all of their glory, has decided to do something extremely genius that I'm sure is going to sell 1 million comics. And they're doing this thing, this round robin tournament, to publish a new comic series. And it's kind of interesting. They're going to let the fans choose what new series. There's 16 pitches. And it's kind of cool. March Madness, I guess. It's a whole tournament for those of you that don't know basketball. And they're going to, and it sounds like on the surface, maybe, okay, that's kind of a cool idea. Let's let the fans choose what series is going to be made. Let's see what the pitches are. Shall we?
Did you find it? Otherwise, I can give it to you.
Well, I have this. I'm not. Let me see what you got.
I just posted in the live stream chat thing.
Post it? Yeah, you can post it in the live stream chat if you want.
Yeah, it's right there. So, link's right there. You want to click on it?
Okay.
It's from Comic Book CB.
Give me half a second to. Okay, that's just.
Well, that's the
Hold on.
that gives you the
Hold on. Hold
description
on.
plus the
Hold
name.
on. No, so this is an article.
Yeah, but it gives you the brackets, what you have for the Twitter, and plus it gives you the names and descriptions, everything.
Oh,
Like
okay,
Greenland.
good. No, this is kind of
Yeah.
cool. All right. So, I was let's post it there. DC Comics is asking fans to vote on various pitches to determine new series. All right. So, blobby blobby blobby. I'm not going to read the whole thing. The important thing that I was looking for. Oh, Jesus. Can you so many damn ads choking at my browser. What did you do to me? Ah.
If we go offline, I'm sorry.
Check it out, y'all. It's a sabotage. All right, here we go. So the first pitch, my friends. Let me click on. Why did you make me do? No, I don't want to go to effing Twitter. All right, first pitch is Green Lantern's Underworld on Fire versus Etta Candy, Holiday Hero Incorporated. So the pitch for Green Lanterns is Kyle Rayner and Kilowog are on the case of space outlaws raising the intergalactic underworld sector by sector. But will Kyle go by the book when he finds out who's behind it all? Oh, okay. That's not I don't think that's interesting enough for me to want to buy. But I guess it sounds kind of sane.
Who's behind it?
I don't know.
It was Agatha all along.
But the competition that is going up against is Etta Candy, Holiday Hero Incorporated. When an accident grants Etta Candy superpowers, she joins forces with Wonder Woman and her sorority sisters to protect anyone in need. Which book are you going to buy, Venkman?
Well, if you look underneath, it shows actually more description than that. Just the picture, paragraphs. Because Etta Candy Holiday Hero Inc. says, on a summer break from Holiday College, an accident grants Etta Candy her own very powers. Take on the new superhero mantle of Candy Stripe. Etta joins forces with Wonder Woman, Amanda Waller, and her Beta Lambda sorority sisters to create Holiday Hero Inc., an all-girls agency sworn to protect and assist anyone in need.
Woo woo!
I'd say pass on both because I'm not a Kyle Rayner fan, and I just.
Well, it's got Kilowog.
Yeah, but you gotta realize, until I see who the creative teams are, I don't care.
Well,
that's because they don't list.
We're judging by the pitches. Which of these books do you want to see made? I'm picking Green Lanterns on this one. Actually, if I get a vote, I'm gonna vote actually the worst. That's how I'm gonna enjoy this. If I get a chance to vote, I'm voting. I want to see the absolute most ridiculous one win. That's what I'm looking for. All right, you guys post in the chat what you guys want to vote for.
Let's see here.
The next bracket.
Zach's the first one to say he likes Etta Candy.
Oh yeah, we got to vote for Etta Candy. I'm assuming let's all pick the most retarded one. The next bracket is The Brave and the Bug: Crisis on Infinite Ambush versus Zatanna and the King of Nightmares. Ambush Bug must team up with some of DC's greatest heroes to survive an attack by revenge-seeking ambush bugs from across the multiverse who never got to exist thanks to Ambush Bug's refusal to be rebooted. Or Zatanna. Something is terribly wrong with Zatanna's powers, but before she can heal herself, she is forced to confront her worst fears in a strange new spiritual realm ruled by the terrifying otherworldly foe known as the King of Nightmares.
So you gotta realize, remember, we're choosing the one that's supposed to be the worst sounding pitch. And Zatanna is supposed to be presented like, oh, that sounds great, until you read it, it's like, wait, before, she used to face her worst fears. I'm choosing that one because that's gonna be the worst of the two.
Yeah.
I bet you the Brave and the
I
Bug would
mean,
probably just
Ambush
be like
Bug
a
is
comedy. Yeah.
silly on its own nature, so that actually. Next
Because
bracket: Lobo and Animal Man versus Son of the Creeper. Lobo. The name makes an entire alien races collectively wet themselves with fear. The main man is proudly hyper-violent, arrogant, loud, stubborn, impatient, and ill-tempered. They forgot toxic masculine, am I right? The best thing about him is that after he completes his contract, he leaves. Until now. Versus Son of the Creeper. An awkward teenager's life is turned upside down when he inherits his dad's when he inherits his dad's chaotic powers. With his family in danger, Kieran Miller must save his father that he doesn't know from the monster he's become.
Actually, if you think about it, if they just made that description right there, Aqua Teenagers, and he develops his dad's aquatic powers, son of the Aquaman, that might be the best woke story I've ever heard.
Well, first of all, why do we need legacy characters of characters that no one cares about? Can we just get a good creeper story, maybe? Why do we need son of... Oh, because he's an awkward teenager and his life is turned upside down when he inherits his dad's powers.
I want to point out on Twitter, people are upset because they are like, why are we putting our ideas against each other? That's unfair and that's just rude. Everybody's like their safe spaces are crumbling because the choose. Only one still survive out of all of them, and the next one seeing that is just as like queer.
Hold on, we're not quit.
I'm just saying.
Don't jump ahead. Don't jump ahead.
It's on my screen, sir.
I don't care what's on your screen. I'm saying don't jump ahead.
But
so
I voted for Lobo Animal Man because those two sound great. I've never seen them in a story together.
So Zach Richmond says, seriously, the Green Lantern, Zatanna, and the book we haven't mentioned yet sound fun. I'd also like another book that we haven't mentioned yet. Let's see. Zach says, oh, yeah, give me that Etta Candy book. That's what I'm talking about. Maranya likes the Kyle Rayner Kilowatt book. Zach says, Ash, I swear, if I miss out on a book you haven't talked about yet because you voted for Etta Candy, I'm going to be mad. We haven't got there yet.
They didn't tell you that these are all going to be drawn by Riley Rossmo.
Son of the Creeper sounds a lot like Invincible. Am I right? Nice. Maranya votes for Zatanna. I refuse to vote for stupid bitches.
Actually, Son of the Creeper is spot on.
Let's see. Question: how many of these will be turned into a cringy YA graphic novels? Hashtag all of them. Let's see.
I'm not Creeper.
So, which one are you voting out of these two?
Like I said, I'm choosing Lobo and Animal Man because just the title alone, it's Animal Man and Lobo together. Like
I'm voting Son of the... I don't know. See, Son of the Creeper just sounds lame. It doesn't sound like just eye-turningly, like just like head-spinningly awful. Like,
are they gonna make the Creeper like a toxic masculine, like he's a toxic white male, and he's this guy's, I'm the son of him, and I don't want to be like my dad.
I don't. Yeah. He's probably gonna be very emo. He's probably gonna be very Zoomer. He's probably gonna just be like, Gen X is stupid. I feel he'll probably be everything. He'll probably have a Instagram account and a TikTok.
Yeah, as I say, his father, he doesn't know from the monster he's become because he voted for Trump.
and look at his name. His name is an amalgamation of two famous comic creators. Kieran Millar. So we have Kieran Gillen, right? That is doing... what's he doing right now? He's doing the Once and Future books. He used to be an X-Men writer. He does that comic book Die.
Die?
No, just Die.
Okay.
The D&D one. And then he goes Millar. How many Millars have you ever known in your life?
Zach's killing me because he's been watching Harley Quinn, the animated series. Like, I thought Creeper was the tree lobster. Well, actually, no, that's not from that. That's actually from Unkillables. Have you read that? DC Unkillables?
Stay on topic.
It is a topic. That's Zach Richmond bringing it up, the tree lobster thing.
Okay,
Creeper had
this is not a hangout stream though. I got to get to the comic book. We can't be going off.
I already said
topic for 2 hours.
Yeah, but I already said I want Global Animal Man. I don't care about Creeper.
All right. Well, I was talking about Kyron Molar, so you have nothing to say about that. I'm gonna vote for Global Animal Man. Sounds like it could actually. No, I'm gonna vote for Animal. That's stupid. Okay. All right. Here we go. One of the main event fights of the bracket. We have Justice League Queer versus Robins. 8 young queer heroes investigate a series of monstrous manifestations around the world and discover that something much more terrifying is coming.
You know what would be hilarious? If they took this title and actually used the original version of queer and just made it strange. Just totally throw people.
What? It's much more terrifying is coming. Straight people. Like, what the...
Straight pride.
First of all, the idea... This is they took the idea of like an all-woman Avengers or the all-woman X-Men and just said let's make it stupider. Like, why do you need an all-gay team? Why? Like, just and you even put it in your name, Justice League Queer. Like, yeah. It just sounds it's just as stupid as if you had Justice League Straight.
Super
8 straight heroes. 8 cis white males heroes like it's just so anyway.
8 woke heroes.
8 woke. Justice League woke. Yeah. And then we have the competition, Robins. In the Bloodhaven apartment of Dick Grayson, a group of young people meets for coffee, donuts, and kvetching between long, awkward silences. The only thing they have in common? All were once kid wonders. Sidekicks to Batman. Robins.
It's an AA class.
I did not ad-lib a single word to that pitch, by the way.
I can't wait to read that. I had it worse. No, I had it worse.
But just listen to the pitch. A group of young people meets for coffee, donuts, and kvetching between long, awkward silences.
The only thing I don't like about this is the fact that it's not Tim, because Tim's known for drinking coffee. Tim's a coffee guy. So why isn't it at Tim's apartment?
I don't know. But just look what's in the pitch. That's it. The only thing about this is that a group of young people meets for coffee, donuts, and kvetching. That's what the comics is going to be.
I thought they're all boy wonders.
There's no and fighting crime and cleaning up the town. It's
well, you don't realize they left out the second part. They're going to go to escape room after this.
But honestly, a team book. Let's see.
I'll just say those. I've seen it before on Captain Marvel. It was like issue 17 or 27. And they all were playing poker. Oh, okay.
No, software was telling me that I lost the stream, but it came back. So all is good. Keep going.
I was just gonna say, I forgot what issue it was of Captain Marvel, and it started off with them and Wolverine and the rest of them. They're playing poker in Carol's apartment or something. Then they went to escape room, except it was a deadly escape room because a guy who wanted to be supervillain was gonna kill them to make be famous. This Robin, just like, yeah, I was a Robin too. It just sounds horrible. It's like, why do I want to read this?
It does.
I mean, are they?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Are they that? No, my problem is, are they that suffering PTSD from being a Robin that they have to meet together, or is this for like a party? I mean, what's the point of this?
No, but here's the thing. Did you ever read the Nightwing comic when Dick Grayson lost his memory? and then
Uh,
the
I heard
the
about
four other people like found the Nightwing costumes and became the
well,
Nightwings.
yeah, that was yeah, it was a bunch of cops, wasn't it?
It was 3 cops and a firefighter.
Yeah.
The concept of that wasn't terrible. Like I like the concept of the Nightwings, like a Batman level kind of comic, but it was like a team. I thought that was interesting. I thought they could have gone somewhere with it. Unfortunately, they nipped it in the bud and rebooted it, and that's what DC likes to do. But Robin's on the surface, I think, sounds interesting, and I think it actually could be a cool way to like deal with these characters that are just kind of floating around in limbo at DC. Like you've got all these ex-Robins because they make too many of them. Just put them all in one book, right? Have Tim and Dick Grayson and Red Hood and maybe Stephanie Brown too, like, and just put them in there and call the book Robins, but they could still be like Nightwing, Red Hood, Red Robin. You know, like we know that they're Robins. They don't call themselves each Robin. And they're like a team, and they're gonna clean up the city and work together. I think that could be a badass book. I would be very interested in trying that out.
Yeah.
But this pitch is sitting around meeting for coffee and donuts. Like, what the fuck? I don't care if it's Robins. I don't care if it was like, you can't replace these characters. You can't be like the X-Men meeting for coffee and donut. The Avengers. It doesn't matter who the characters are. The pitch of meeting for coffees, donuts, and kvetching is the most retarded thing I've ever heard.
And I guess Zach brings up a good point, because this is what I saw some people talking about on Twitter too. He says, does anyone else think they put the JLQ against Robins because it seems like an interesting book compared to some of the others? People were complaining, because they're saying like, well, Justice League Queer is like, how dare they put Robins against it? Because everyone's going to vote for Robins over Justice League Queer. There were people really upset about this. They're like saying like, I'm done with DC Comics. I'm like, no, you're not. You're gonna read these. I don't care who you are. It's just either for sour capes we're gonna read this, or I'm just gonna read it just to see how bad it is. Because it's like I have to like punish myself just to see how bad it can do a book.
So which one are you voting for?
Honestly, I'm more interested in the Robins just because I like the characters. I like the different Robins.
I didn't ask which one you're interested in. I'm asking which one you're voting for.
Oh, I already voted for all these on my Twitter feed. I voted for Robins.
You're voting for Rob? I'm voting for Justice League Queer because I want the most retarded book. I want the biggest train wreck possible.
Queer Eye for the Justice League guy.
And I just feel that a Justice League Queer book needs to exist. You know, like like I need that New Warriors book to exist. Here we go. Next one. Paws Off the Justice League versus Jesse Quick Control. In Paws Off the Justice League, when the Justice League disappears, Jimmy Olsen and the Super Pets must save the world from certain doom by posing as the missing League. Stupid. So stupid.
It sounds like Silver Age, doesn't it? This would be your original Golden Age, some weird stuff like this.
How are you gonna pose as the League when you're animals? Is someone gonna mistake Jimmy Olsen and a bunch of animals for the Justice League?
My only thing is, like, are they saying are they using the wrong term, posing, or maybe filling in? I don't know.
It says posing. If it just said filled in, maybe that could be silly. If this was like a Wonder Comics imprint, and it was like, let's how do a cute little, okay. And then we have Jesse Quick Control. When Jesse Quick uses her speed to access an alien artifact from a long-dead civilization, she finds herself imbued with the ability to harness and control the elements around her as her former super speed is drained. But when the powers begin to corrupt Jessie, she must decide to give up these gifts or risk becoming, quite literally, her own worst enemy.
The thing about this is I really like Jesse Quick, and they tease this book here, but then I know they're gonna just ruin it for me. Like, I mean, maybe hit the character, at least this version. So I mean, I still voted because it's Jesse Quick. No, so
Well, I am voting.
I don't care for Pet Avengers or Pet Justice League. Sorry.
Well, before I put the vote here, I'm gonna actually see the chat and see what people are voting for. Ronnie says, "Can I vote for none of the above?" No, fine. I vote for Robin, lesser of two evils. How dare you vote against the queer book? You're gonna be canceled now, Marania. Let's see. Does anyone else think JLQ against Robins because it seems like an uninteresting book compared to some of the others? I don't know. Teelan says they could do Robins really well if they make it a multiverse of Robins. I mean, possibly. I honestly think that the Robin thing that I pitched, like put Nightwing and Red Hood and Tim Drake in a comic. Like,
You mean just Drake,
I would,
right?
yeah, just Drake. Put them in a comic. Like, even throw Stephanie Brown there, so you could have your female character. You know, like you have 4 Robins and their street level crime team group. Like, I think you could do something with that. I think people, yeah.
How many follow-up jokes have there been in there from Bendis? That's what I want to know. You followed up that one again, didn't you, Drake?
Let's see. Forgetting Carrie Kelly from your favorite book, Ash. Carrie Kelly is, I don't believe, DC continuity yet. Though Frank Miller has expressed he does want to do a Carrie Kelly in the modern continuity, pre Dark Knight. I'd be curious to see how that worked out.
I want Harry Carey as the next Robin.
Zach says I take the Robins, but they gotta have spoiler. Let's see. Zach says,
no girls are allowed.
I want both of these books. Melissa says Ash will be right back after his bullshit messages. It sounds better than Snyder's Death Metal. I actually like Death Metal.
I wasn't a fan of it, but it's an Elseworlds though, which and it should. And the only thing with Death Metal I had to complain about is that it should have been a side event. It shouldn't have been like a whole thing where I'm
it's
forced.
Not Elseworlds. Like, it totally affected the whole continuity of DC.
I look at it as Elseworlds because I don't buy that beat crap. You know, because now we got all the other stuff. Actually, what did it even affect? Isn't the Future State isn't part of that? Or I guess,
yeah, it led into the whole Infinite Frontier and everything. Like everything that's happening is because of Death Metal.
Oh, then I really hate it though.
I mean, I hate the outcome of it. That's for sure. But the story itself, I really like actually how Scott Snyder writes the Justice League. Let's see. I want the Justice League Pets book. I like the Pet Avengers. It's a cute idea. It might be written more as a kid's aim book. I agree, Maranya. Like I said in my pitch, if this was like a Wonder Comics imprint and it was like Jimmy Olsen and the Super Pets, I could see that being a cute little idea. I just don't have faith that they'll actually do that here, nor do I see that the pitch is trying to do that. So my vote is going to be for pause off the Justice League because Jesse Quick just sounds meh. It just sounds like, oh, you know, I guess here's a side character that you're given their own book and a boring story. Yay. Like it doesn't sound ludicrous, but it doesn't sound interesting either. Whereas pause off the Justice League sounds like it could be a total train wreck.
It's really weird though that they waited this long for the use of Jesse Quick book because she was in Flash. It would have been more relevant to do it last year or the year before the Flash season.
Of course. I mean,
but then DC doesn't know what they're doing.
The next bracket: Blue Beetle Graduation Day versus Night Runner Love in Paris. God, these subtitles. In Blue Beetle Graduation Day, trapped between heroics and his future, Jaime Reyes is directionless. When the Reach interrupt Jaime's high school graduations, things only get worse. Starfire becomes a new mentor to Blue Beetle. But is Jaime or the Scarab that's really in the driver's seat? And why hasn't Jaime applied to any colleges?
Because he's scared of the indoctrination.
Why is Starfire his mentor? She's like, what? a year older than him? Like what?
Oh, I don't know how old. Because well, the New 52, he was like 15, 16, 17 years old, and she was like in her 20s.
Barely. She was a teen titan.
Yeah, I know. I'm
She
just,
can't
I'm just
be in
saying.
her 20s. I mean, I guess she could be early. Like she could be like 21.
Like I said, depends on what version you're going in, because I've seen him as a kid version with her being teaching.
Remember,
like,
New 52, Batman was 25 and Superman was 25. So I can't believe Starfire's like as old as Batman and Super. Like that's just, I don't know.
I'm just saying, Jaime was still in high school. That's all I'm gonna say. And
Yeah, he was meant to be a younger.
And she was training like Damian in the new Titans.
I don't know. That just sounds lame. Night Runner, Love in Paris. All of Paris is obsessed with an intoxicating viral songstress whose holographic stage shows are lighting up the city of love. But when a Vocaloid... But when the Vocaloid ingenue's fans start to disappear, Night Runner must track down the infamous developer behind the eerily realistic celebrity AI. Holy fuck, that was a bunch of nonsense. Did you even understand that pitch?
Yeah, Dazzler's coming to DC.
I was thinking Gem and the Holograms.
Vocaloid, that's like a Japanese anime thing, isn't it?
When the Vocaloid ingenues fans... What? Jesus,
Vocaloid...
do you know that you're writing for kids, DC? Seriously, did you go through like the dictionary? Like, did you find like balderdash words? Like, let's think of words that no one has.
But were they submitted by fans, or are they submitted by?
No, this is DC's pitches and their fan contest. Both of these are just lame. I'm gonna vote for Night Runner, Love in Paris, just because it has the biggest failure. I just want to see whatever one. I want to see the one that's gonna fail the biggest. That's
you know what. You know how you change this better? You make it better. All Paris is obsessed with intoxicating and virtue signaling songstress. There you go.
That would be better. It would have won. It did win my vote because Blue Beetle. It's Blue Beetle. Whatever. It's boring.
If Starfire's drawn hot, I'll probably get the book.
Yeah.
But Night Runner, I'm like, now it's probably gonna be a girl. I don't think it'll be a guy.
FF2 says these sound so awful that it's laughable. Exactly. That is exactly the point of this presentation here, is to get you guys something to laugh at, because you need to mock stupidity at that's the only way you can get stupid things to go away, is to point and mock at it.
I see some more Sour Cape episodes coming up.
Seriously. Like whoever wins, we need to do for sure.
We won't be winning.
Ted Kord was the mentor in Rebirth, says to heal him. That's correct. And technically this is still Rebirth since they didn't do a Rebirth, but I guess they did Infinite. I don't know. Who knows anymore? Nothing matters at DC. Thanks, Bendis.
Well, there's only going to be one, right? That wins out of all of these?
Yes, one winner.
So the fact they put the Robins and the JLQ up against each other like the first round means they're like, they really don't want the JLQ.
Marnie says, I want to vote for none of the above again. Blue Beetle sounds like a failed YA novel pitch, and the lesser of two evil. BB gets the vote. Nice.
But wait, though, it gets better.
Swamp Thing, House of Secrets versus Suicide Squad 7. What? When love will not die, the dead must rise from the grave to kill it. Louisiana, 1905. Caught in an eternal triangle of love and living death, the monstrous Alex Olson, his widow Linda, and his undead rival Damien vie for control of the cursed swamp where life, death, the past, and the future spiral into one never-ending nightmare. Oh, sounds meh. Like House of Secrets. They're bringing back House of Secrets, Swamp Thing style.
Guest starring Jonah Hex.
Okay. This actually has some serious potential, I guess. Like I'm not terribly interested in it, but I can't knock the pitch. Like I'm thinking there would be people who would be down for this. Let's see what it's up against. Harley Quinn, leads a team of criminals, a millionaire adventurer, a stage magician, a sugar-obsessed serial killer, a delusional former superhero, a drunk assassin, a mute metahuman, and a child who becomes a monster to stop the centuries-old Church of Blood from trying to destroy all of humankind. So it sounds like a new Suicide Squad led by Harley Quinn.
Is that the same child from Invincible?
Right.
Monster Girl?
Literally, this just sounds like another just Suicide Squad. Oh, we need to get Harley Quinn leading the Suicide Squad again. So how can we do that? Because the problem with Suicide Squad is everyone dies. So you keep needing to make these F-list characters.
So a millionaire adventure, is that Bruce or is that going to be like somebody else, like Oliver Queen? Stage magician.
It's gonna be what's his name from Gilligan Island? A stage magician. A sugar-obsessed serial killer. Oh, so exciting. A delusional former superhero. A drunk assassin, a mute metahuman, a.k.a. a superpowered, and a child who becomes a monster. Why? First of all, why is a child in the Suicide Squad? This seems fucked up. Would you put a bomb in this kid's?
Why don't they just have her leading like the Watchmen? You could have the comedian there. You could have some other.
Yeah. Well, first of all, why isn't there a Watchmen book on this list? They need to have a Watchmen spinoff.
Is Tom King's?
I am actually getting the spinning hourglass.
Okay, because you disappear, and then all of a sudden you're like, all of a sudden you got a big chunk of messages came floating at me. I was like, man.
I put on the "Be Right Back" banner.
It's weird though, because like on the YouTube, it doesn't show a spinning. Oh, there it is. That's why it's blending in with the white background.
Yeah, I put on the "Be Right Back" banner when I see this happening, so that I can see it pop up on YouTube.
Yep.
But if it's not popping up on the YouTube, that means not going through.
There it goes. Because there's a second delay, remember?
Well, I know, yeah, but now when I see it pop up, that means I can go back to the main scene. So. Steve Elam says, we think Ash is drowning. It's AT&T. They know that I'm making fun of their shit, so they're squashing me. Asteria versus Superman and Lois. Oh, this should be good. An immortal Amazonian champion returns to man's world to discover her and the Amazon sacrifice now forgotten. A new breed of heroes seeking power, glory, and dominance. And the secret family she left behind offering one last chance at redemption. Yikes. That sounds... So basically what they're trying to tell me is that Wonder Woman and... the new stupid Wonder Woman from Brazil and Donna Troy and Cassie, all the Legion of Wonder Women, all failed. They all, whatever they did, they all failed. So now we need another one, the last Wonder Woman, Asteria, to come.
Is the first?
What's that?
This is the first Warrior that is a villain where they had. Did you watch 84?
No.
Yeah, she's the one that has the golden armor originally. She wore it, protected, fought, and then she disappeared.
But this sounds like a story.
Yeah.
Of the future. I don't know. This pitch. I guess maybe this pitch could be in the past.
It is. Yeah. Well, no, it is. It's gonna be a future thing, but they're gonna say that out of all of them, she's a warrior that survived all of them. Best fight.
Right. So she's but what I'm saying is if this story happens in the future, basically what you're telling me is that all the Legion of Wonder Women that we have now all failed.
Of course.
Because now she has to come and finally clean shit up. All right, let's see what it's up against. Superman and Lois. Ignition. Is this a CW spinoff? I don't know. Let's find out. Our solar system is a machine, and its purpose is to trap and kill Superman. The sun is darkening, Mars' orbit is changing, and a mysterious citadel in Jupiter's great red eye has awoken. It is time for Kal-El to stand against the very end of his world. But he won't be doing it alone. Lois Lane is suited up and blasting off to get the biggest story in human history, and to watch Clark's back as he faces his greatest challenge yet, facing an ancient aliens and planet-sized machines, trickster asteroids, and the Giga Krakens of Neptune. Superman and Lois will fight across all 9 planets to prevent Earth's dark destiny and save our future.
So, here's a question. What is Lois going to do other than nag people?
She's suiting up and blasting off?
Yeah, join him.
What is she suiting? Did Tony Stark give her an armor?
I don't know, man.
What is she suiting up and blasting?
She's in a rocket ship following him? I don't know.
I just sound so stupid. And how is Superman saving everyone else when the solar system is a thing against him? He's just saving himself, it sounds like.
Well, he's trying to fight this, and then he's got his wife. I'm going to get the scoop of the century.
And what's the deal? It says we'll fight across all 9 planets when there's only 8 planets.
Wait, is Pluto now a planet?
No, Pluto hasn't been a planet for like 15 years.
No, I'm asking, is it back to be a planet?
No, it's not. That's why I'm wondering why they're saying there's 9. Anyways, I'm actually quibbling there because I think it's stupid that they took planetary status away from Pluto, but
it got canceled.
Technically, it got canceled. Pluto voted for Trump, so it's out. This is, I have to vote for this. I don't know, man. Hysteria the Last Amazon? No. Hysteria the Last Amazon sounds more trash. Like, oh, we need more Wonder Women. We don't have enough. Kara Flora. Why is Kara Flora not saving the entire galaxy? Saving all of history? Isn't she the ultimate Wonder Woman? I'm offended that she's not.
She's too busy sitting in the Amazon drinking a Fireball whiskey, okay?
I'm offended because Hysteria is probably not a woman of color. So that also means Nubia failed as well. That's offensive.
Well, my thing is, are these kids, are they doing this on the weekend? And that's why they can't fight because they're too busy
do it on the weekend. No, this Superman and Lois ignition just sounds terrible. It's getting my vote. This is so dumb. It's Lois blasting. I gotta see Lois in her super armor suit, rocket suit, blasting off. Watching Clark's back. Can you imagine this? Superman needs Lois to watch his back.
It sounds more like she's like, it'd make more sense if it's like, yeah, she snuck aboard the ship as a stowaway to get the scoop of the lifetime and all, and in order to get caught in the middle of all this stuff, and Superman has to only save her and somehow stop the villain.
I think Superman needs to get busy knocking Lois up so she can stay home and watch the kids. Because John's out of the house. So they need a new...
It could have been, no, she'd hand this kid off to Jor-El as well, too. Jor-El, watch this kid.
Why isn't she just running off with Luthor?
I'm surprised that she has, like, I'm surprised he's like, you know what? You're better off in Red Sun marrying Luthor because you're.
How is the solar system a machine? The solar system a machine is the purpose to trap and kill Superman. What? The solar system was created billions of years before Superman. This whole thing just sounds retarded. Like if I just imagine myself an editor in the pitch room.
You know what this probably is? This is probably Coates writing this. Taki Coates.
I just put yourself as the editor's shoes in the pitch room, and a writer comes to you and says this. Like, I'd be like, go home, you're drunk.
Well, first of all, you're it's not Jim Lee. It's probably the other girl that's in charge of all this. Jim Lee's like, I'm trying to do future state, and we got this too. But then again, they probably figure
says,
like.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that Jim Lee probably saw all these ideas. He's like, the only one's gonna make it through anyway, so I don't care. He's like, and then probably we'll do like maybe a couple books we'll sell, and then that'll be it.
Helium says Pluto is back to being a planet. According to Google, it is not. Wait, according to Google, it is.
It never stopped being a planet.
Yeah, it did.
No, that's because some idiots group together like, this is a good idea.
Okay, so Forbes says yes. It is a planet.
Did Joe Biden say it's a planet?
So I guess the Investment Magazine. I get my news about planets on that. So, Asteria is probably a cis white male, says to Helium. The Superman pitch sounds eerily like a pitch Mark Waid was involved in. Check out Perch's video on the subject. Yeah, Perch did do a video on this. Hey, Skip is back. Good to see you, Skip. What was your vote on this last one?
Mine?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of want to read both of them because I know Superman and Lois is stupid. But Asterion's like, that might have some woke points in it, but it actually might be the better story.
Yeah, I think Asteria could be a good story. I think it's a dumb pitch because I just don't want them having more Wonder Women. Like, it's stupid. But I don't think on the pitch itself doesn't seem... The Superman one just seems retarded. It just... I want to see Lois in her little rocket soup backing up Superman.
All I know is that Jupiter's great red eye is awoken. Oh, okay. Which hidden race of aliens is this? It's been living there dormant.
Who knows?
Like did something what awakened it? No.
Who knows? Nothing matters anymore.
What
is your ultimate? Okay, so we picked the winning. We picked who we wanted to win each bracket. Who do you want to ultimately see win the entire tournament? Which do you want to see of all 16? Do you want to see printed?
I'd probably say Robin's because it's the one that can't piss me off the most. But then again, it could be worse than all put together. But
I'm picking Justice League Queer because it's so ridiculous. I have to see this. I have to see it because think about this. It's gonna be all new characters. It's gonna be like New Warriors level goodness. It's too bad that the Marvel's already trademarked the names. Safe Space and Snowflake, and I can't remember the other lame names. And it's gonna be great. I mean, we'd see an actual. I'll buy it. I will buy it. If there's a Justice League Queer book, I will buy it.
Swamp Thing House of Secrets might be cool.
No, I'm not talking that one. That one gets my vote as probably the most potential to be a real legit book. But I'm not voting for that. I'm voting for the trash. I want to see the train wreck. That's where my money is going.
Well, that'd be Harley Quinn. Suicide Squad 7.
Yeah, but it just kind of feels like a Suicide Squad book, though. Right? I mean, because Harley Quinn is already Suicide Squad. It's
young queer heroes.
We've seen it before. I mean, the original Suicide Squad movie, Harley Quinn. Now, Etta Candy, who I have no idea who that is, Holiday Hero Incorporated. That's my number 2. I hope it's Etta Candy versus Justice League Queer.
Something much more terrifying is coming. Donald Trump in 2024. We gotta cancel him.
Froggy has to narrate the Superman book, especially all of our pew pew pews that Lois does with the armor. All right.
You probably have no idea what she's talking about.
I have no idea.
Go check out the Supergirl. Or should not say Super. Was it Supergirl? I think it was a Supergirl review that Puppetine did. Go check it out. There's a special guest on there.
Venkman, it has been a great pleasure having you on. I would love to keep talking with you, but I do need to read some Aquaman. So
You get 15 minutes.
you can definitely hang out with me, but I do need to get to the book because people have been waiting.
As long as you screen share.
Oh, I have to screen share with you. All right, here we go.
Otherwise, I gotta mute.
Jane, how do I work this crazy thing?
Don't put out your boot, huh? Alrighty.
I'm running a risk of
killing the stream.
Yeah, but running too many things at once.
You'll be fine.
If this all blows up, it's Venkman's fault. Ronnie says if she had to choose, she'd pick either Green Lantern book of the Super Pets, Zatanna, or the Robins. But you're not voting for a train wreck, so you're no fun, Maranya.
If you waited this long and you're disappointed it doesn't get to the comic, like I guess it's impressive.
All right, back to the comic. If I can find my way back there, it's in a tab. It's one of these tabs. Jane, how do you stop this crazy thing? All right, here we go. This is DC Universe Aquaman, collected in the first volume trade paperback. The Drowning is written by Dan Abnett. I have never read this book. This will be a cold read, and I am not a professional voice actor. You will quickly find out.
And I am. I want to read Aquaman in Russian voice.
Stupid. That's actually the one accent I can do is Russian.
Not German though.
And I can do LA, like East LA acts, like Cheech Marin accent.
Come on, it makes everything's better than Arnold accent. And everybody else is Russian.
Arnold is one of the best accents, that's for sure.
Come on, get to it. You gotta read the story. Come on. Those little fishies. Go.
All right. All jokes aside, we are reading Aquaman now. Or at least I am. Here we go. To begin, picture the world. A reality check can be humbling and reminds man of his place in the cosmos. Picture the oceans. Their average depth is 2.5 miles, their maximum more than 7. They cover almost 128,000 square miles of the planet's surface. That's 2/3 of the planet. 97% of the global biosphere. Compared to that, any one man is surely insignificant. Unless he claims the oceans as his domain and rules over them as Aquaman. How far off am I? Western Atlantic. Spindrift Station, Atlantean Dryland Embassy, Massachusetts. Majesty? Our sensors show you 2 leagues from the quarry. Is the identity of the target confirmed, Captain Sark? My love, this is Mira. The identity is confirmed. It is the deluge. Damn it. Arthur Curry, Aquaman, the ruler of Atlantis. This man sees himself as protector of the oceans as a whole. He regards himself without irony as monarch and custodian of 2/3 of the globe. Is this confidence and admirable ambition, or supreme arrogance? For taking 2/3 of the planet into your care is no small job. Too much for one man, some would say. To be here now, he is ignoring a typhoon in Indonesia, a seaquake in the Sea of Japan, and a migrant ship found. Take 3. And a migrant ship foundering in the Mediterranean. Today, he has made his priority the deluge. an Atlantean terror cell, fiercely xenophobic. Stop this, now! Arrgh. The finer details of Atlantean society are poorly understood by us, of the surface world, for Atlantis is famously kept itself isolated. But I understand the deluge recruits from the Ninth Triad, or Ninth House of Atlantis, socially and literally the lowest sector of the city-state. The king himself! No fealty now, deluge. We are sworn to this act. Coram Wrath of the Ninth Triad, I know you. You are a true Atlantean. Turn back from this course. People of the Ninth Triad refer to themselves as Hadalin, an Atlantean word for the organisms that dwell in the midnight zone of the deep seafloor, surviving on organic matter falling from the productive zones higher up. Bottom feeders. This is not a slur. To Atlanteans, Hadalin are noble. They toil eternally to keep the seas clean. You are no king of mine. Where is your crown? You dress like a surface fool. You are not one of us. The deluge sees nations of dry land as pollution. They oppose any contact between Atlantis and the surface. And perhaps, more than anything else, they hate the fact that their king is a surface-born. You rig for war. You lash fusion bombs to the harness. Sorry, hold on. Sorry about that. I had to clear my throat. You rig for war. You lash fusion bombs to the harnesses of enslaved sea beasts. Let me guess. You're going to swim into some unsuspecting American harbor and level a city. The deluge has bided its time waiting for you to act. King, you have not. You are too fond of your surface friends to speak truth to their power. Fusion fire will communicate our message to the Drylanders. The surface will burn for Atlantis. Urgh. No, not for Atlantis. This is never for Atlantis. Our king fights his own people to spare the Drylanders. They are terrorists, Merc. They are not our people. Spindrift Station is Arthur's new project. An Atlantean embassy intended to improve relations between the Sea Kingdom and the surface. Neptune below knows the nations of water and air have been at odds for too long. You heard Arthur's words. He has given leadership of the diplomatic mission to his beloved Mara. It is a role she undertakes loyally but reluctantly. In many ways, she epitomizes the traditional isolationist urge of Atlantis. But she would do anything for him, even stomach the barbarian customs of the surface world. The deluge has fusion bombs in their saddlebags. They could atomize an eastern seaboard city. That would end hopes of peace between our nation and America. Oh, sorry, I read that in the wrong voice. That was Mira speaking. I'm not going to go back. Continuing. Yes, milady. Garth, any evidence that the Americans know what's coming? None yet, but if the fight gets any closer to land... Do we deploy the drift to assist His Majesty? The full might of our army, even? Wait, Captain Sark. Mobilizing our elite special forces, or the full military strength of Atlantis, would also cause an international incident. To the surface world, Aquaman is a superhero, a member of the Justice League, a comrade of Superman and Wonder Woman. He is certainly superhuman. That Aqua guy is hot. Meh, I couldn't get with no guy that chats with his seafood platter. But drylanders do seem obsessed with the idea that he talks to fish. This is untrue. He has a telepathic gift that allows him to compel marine life, but fish do not possess enough intelligence to conduct meaningful dialogue. They have tortured your brain with implants, old beast. I sense your agony. However, the myth has made him a running joke in popular culture. Ha ha, fishy. The merman who speaks to fish. Few land dwellers have witnessed him using the superhuman abilities that would give him true credibility. Be free. Throw off the master who enslaves you. Yarg! For most, he is not a proper superhero. I do not believe that Arthur Curry is an especially proud man, but this reputation must be galling. He is simply not beloved. Indeed, he is generally feared. On too many occasions, Atlantis has been in conflict with the surface. So what you're saying, Dr. Taylor, is that Aquaman is not like the other Justice League members? David, he's the head of the state of a foreign power. He brings that baggage with him. Okay, turning to our other guests, Jim Torres in Gotham City. Jim, you were there a year ago when the Atlantean attack flooded the city. Yes, David. My sister and her little boy died. Lost my home. Neighbors lost their homes too. Never had no compensation, David. I don't know what kind of superhero does that, or what kind of superhero that is. To many, Aquaman is a menace. He is the king of an alien race and the leader of a rogue state. His mother was Atlantean royalty, his father a surface dweller, a lighthouse keeper. How must it be to have one's origins read like the start of a sea shanty? He is a man of two worlds who belongs to neither, and is, for the most part, not much liked by either one. Thoom. You stop me short of Boston, false king. So the bomb packs will vaporize this stretch of the coast instead. The voice of the deluge will still be heard. Yet he persists. Misunderstood, mocked, and unrecognized, he guards land and sea, one from the other. Like his late father's lighthouse, he watches the shoreline, protecting dry land from the wrath of the ocean, and the ocean from the greed of the land. Why? The land enslaves us. And you? Why today? Because tomorrow is too late. Mira, it's done. Send the drift in quietly to secure the prisoners and care for their enslaved beasts. In truth, as I consider him, I almost find myself pitying him. On the one hand, he is undoubtedly a man who believes he is striving to achieve a better, safer world. Hey, Arthur. He is undoubtedly superhuman, a hero of the first rank. He is a king, with a nation at his command. Hello, Cindy. You want to hear the specials? Thank you. Those of the surface see him as a punchline, or as a menace. Large segments of the Atlantean people resent his rule. He fights a daily battle to balance the always conflicting interests of his parent worlds. He struggles to drag a reluctant Atlantis into the world stage, and toils to get the air-breathing world to accept the sea kingdom it fears so primally. He is a man of peace, at odds, at war with everything around him. And even the fish don't actually talk to him. You always come here when you want to feel grounded. Pun intended. Pun? I mean, this reassures you because your father brought you here, and you bring me here when a day has been particularly bad or good. Tonight, the former, I suppose. The deluge. Coram Wrath and his radicals are in detention. The drift raided sites in the 8th Triad, and I found secessionist texts. Also, clues to the location of their base. What is this food? Chowder. Where was the base? The Luat recess. It had been destroyed. Perhaps stockpiled weapons had detonated, or they had scuttled it before setting out. The deluge has been quiet for years. Today they launch an attack. Provoked by the building of Spindrift in your Dryland initiative? Or goaded by a third party? I have more enemies than friends. Interrogation will reveal that. In time. What is this called again? Chowder. Don't eat it if you don't like it. It's fine. Mara, sometimes I see that you tolerate the surface, just for me. The food, this place, dry land. Of course, it's important to you. And you are important to me. I don't want to ask too much of you. Arthur, you ask for nothing of me. I give what is in my heart to give. My only fear is that you ask too much of yourself. In the struggle of his life, there is one light, Mira. Without her love, I believe he would collapse beneath the weight of the impossible role he has set for himself. The burden of being Aquaman would bear him down and drown him. So I will begin with her. That will be a mortal wound. Along with her, I will destroy his precious Spindrift embassy and the hope of peace between land and sea that it was raised to symbolize. And then I will finish the man himself. For I know, whatever else he tries to be, Aquaman is a murderer. My father's death will be avenged, and my life's purpose as Black Manta will be complete. All right. So that was the DC Universe Aquaman #1. As I understand it, it's tough sometimes when doing the trades. But the way the Rebirth, for those of you that may not be familiar, the way the Rebirth initial when they rebooted the DC universe. They didn't technically reboot the universe, but they rebooted the whole comics line. Every new comic got a DC Universe Rebirth issue. The DC Universe itself got its own issue, so it's kind of like a pyramid. So it started with DC Universe Rebirth #1, which I highly recommend, written by Jeff Johns. It's a fantastic issue. You can get it like in hardcover now. It's beautiful. It's a great story. Anyways, then each comic that they were launching, Superman, Batman, Aquaman, all these, got their own DC Universe Rebirth #1 issue. In this case, Aquaman. And then they launched the series. So Aquaman Rebirth, or the Rebirth Aquaman series, will have a #1. That will be this story here. So this trade paperback contains that first DC Rebirth issue, and then the first 6 issues of the story. And it has a different artist, Brad Walker. Now, I believe it was also a double page. No, it's only 28 pages. Some of them were bigger. Because it's 7 issues, and we ran long today, I'm not going to do a second issue. So I'm just going to stop here. On Tuesday, we'll do issues 1 and 2. Thursday, we'll do issues 3 and 4. And then followed by the following Tuesday, we'll do issues 5 and 6. So that worked out pretty good. It's just after midnight, so the stream will stay kind of in check. And Venkman, you still with us?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there you are.
As long as you speak.
No, I appreciate that. I couldn't see the screen where you were, so I wasn't sure if you had slipped out yet. There we go.
I'm always lurking.
You're always lurking. Before I get back to you, let me see what's going on in the chat. Time for Hash to put on his magic mushroom voice. Marani says, wow, the art in this book is so good. Though Amira looks a bit off. Aquaman is a hottie. Nice water effects. Yeah, I mean, these were launching the DC universe. They put their best foot forward. DC Rebirth was a really good launch. Funny how the main villain has a similar color scheme to Aquaman. Interesting to contrast. I think that's more of an Atlantean thing. The main villain, of course, actually is going to be Black Manta. That was just sort of an upstart. Flashpoint shows Aquaman would be powerful as a villain. He can flood the earth. Yeah, Aquaman would be powerful as a villain. Let's see. Aquaman is a Namor ripoff or a counterpart to him. Yes. Namor did come first. Although I think Aquaman is a better character.
But isn't Namor like full Atlantean?
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
They're not exactly the same, but I mean, they're both Atlantis character type, you know. But you know, the ripoff thing, that is a total historical thing in comics.
They both are dropped.
You got Swamp Thing, Man Thing, Doom Patrol, X-Men, you know,
Deadpool, Deathstroke.
Deathstroke. I don't know if Deadpool's really a copy of Deathstroke though.
Wolverine, Turbo Wolf.
Maybe that one's not quite as overt. But
Darkseid, Thanos.
Darkseid, Thanos for sure.
And Kingpin, and what's the other guy? Whale. The Tiberius Whale.
I'm not familiar with that character.
He's the Black Lightning villain on the show right now.
But certain thing like Challengers of the Unknown and Fantastic Four, that was for sure is a ripoff. Like that was a blatant ripoff. There's more. I'm sure if we could.
Harley Quinn, Deadpool. They always say like, you know.
Well, they're making Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn wasn't created to be like Deadpool. She sort of got mutated into that.
She in the cartoon series, she was kind of ditzy, but she also like was kind of smart too. You know?
Yeah, and she wasn't fourth wall breaking, and she was really nothing like. It was only later when they started doing, you know, just anyways. let's see. There's a lot of exposition information presented in the character development, but it's integrated into the story, unlike Bendis word vomits on the page. Yeah, that's true. This book was meant to, as you know, as I explained, it was meant to launch the series. So this was a special one-shot issue. It was not. It wasn't number one of the series. So this was a great way, if you had never read Aquaman before, and you were like, "Oh, DC's launching their Rebirth universe," you could pick up all these Rebirth issues, and it would like get you running. It would get you all up to speed, and you would know what you needed to know.
And kind of like this.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge Aquaman fan, but I thought this was a decent issue.
Yeah, I agree. All the Rebirth issues that I've read, these one shots have been great. Yeah, I think this is perfect. I'm not an Aquaman guy. My knowledge of Aquaman pretty much comes to what I've read in the Justice League books and what I saw in the Aquaman movie. I know very little. So this is actually very helpful for me.
Well, yeah, Thorn of Atlantis was the same thing as the movie, kind of live action. Watch the DC animated movie, Thorn of Atlantis. That was kind of interesting.
So I've heard really good things about this series. I was about to be a subscriber to the series. I was gonna add it to my pull list, and the very week I was gonna go and add it to my pull list, they announced that they were putting Kelly Sue DeConnick onto the book, and I was like, "Oh, nope, never mind." I'm not gonna get into it. But everyone up to that point had been talking about how great this series was, and like, it was kind of like the Hawkman of the time, one of those books that everyone was talking about how good it was, but yet no one was really buying it.
You guys are lucky. You're lucky that Hawkman just ended instead of being taken over by somebody else.
That is true. It got to end on its own accord. But people were saying that Dan Abnett was doing a great job, and they was taking Atlantis and sort of really building, world building it, and it was almost turning into like a Game of Thrones type of story with all this intrigue of the different houses and all this stuff. And I was like, that sounds pretty cool. Like, one of the things I loved about Thor back in the day when Simonson took over is he really moved Thor into Asgard for a while, and you got to just explore the whole mythos of the the Norse mythos. And it was really fascinating to do all that world building and learn about the dark elves and the dwarves and where the hammer came from and who are the frost giants and all this different stuff that really, for me, helped make Thor a more fascinating character. When Thor was just, I'm Donald Blake and I put my hammer in the ground, I become Thor. That was dumb to me. To me, that felt like a Superman ripoff. It's like he's the Clark Kent for Superman. And that's just how things were done back in the day, so I forgive it. But when Simonson came on and did all that world building, and so when people were telling me this about Aquaman, that's the first thing I thought of. And I said, oh, so I picked up the first 4 trades, but because it's Aquaman and I never really read it before, they kind of sat there and languished. And so I was like, I'm just going to read this for my stream here, because if I read it and it's good, I'll stay on and keep going. It's, for me, the hardest step is just picking open the book and reading it. Do you ever have that issue, Venkman?
Picking up a book and then not being able to read it?
No. Do you have that issue? Like for me, reading comics or any real books, whatever. Once I'm into it, it's not a problem. I'll stay reading it, but sometimes just starting it, opening it for the first time, is the hardest part. Because I don't know. Maybe I'm just naturally a procrastinator. I'm always like,
I'm a person that starts up reading a book, and then I see, I'm like, ooh, that looks good too, and I start reading that too, and then I'm like, oh, that looks even better, I'll get that too. And then at the point where I'm like, I gotta go back and focus on the one I was reading, because I just totally started ignoring it, going to the next new thing. I'm like, shiny. If it's a lot of times I don't like to start new things, so I mean, because I run into that problem. But if it's a new Aquaman, picking up a book and reading it, it doesn't I said Aquaman, Hawk. I was gonna say Hawkeye. So, Hawkman, they don't really excite me. I'd rather, if you're gonna have Hawkman, give me the JSA. Don't just give me like one person. Give me the whole crew. Then I'll read it. But I mean that's cool for people who like those characters and just focusing on Hawkman's like his life. So that's cool. You get
Dude,
more in depth.
you need to read Hawkman. Hawkman is
I,
good.
I know, but I'm reading other books too, trying to catch up. I'm reading back issues.
Hawkman is why I want to read JSA now. But I don't think I would have wanted to read JSA quite nearly as much if I hadn't read Hawkman. And I certainly wouldn't have really cared about Hawkman in JSA because before reading that book, I just thought he was a dude with wings, flew around with a mace. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much more to his character and like his whole backstory and what motivates him. And I just found out the other day, I did not know this. Robert Venditti had never read a Hawkman book before he started writing that series. I was blown away. I was like,
yeah, sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad because, you know, a lot of writers will try to imitate the other one and feel badly, or they're like, will just totally ignore it. Like, oh, that's stupid. I'm going to change it.
Yeah.
So I self-insert. You know, it's.
I mean, he definitely did change something. Well, I didn't really change. One of the things I liked about, not to get too off track here, but one of the things that I loved about Hawkman is that he added something to Hawkman's backstory, but made it fit with everything else. So you could kind of go back and read old Hawkman books knowing this new thing, and it didn't like overwrite anything. It was more of like, here's something else you didn't know about Hawkman. But that thing that he added, to me, just makes him so much cooler and more interesting.
Venkman was born. He was born gay. Did not know that. This is exciting.
Oh my goodness.
The gateway for getting into JSA was Stargirl, actually, Jeff Johns.
Oh yeah, you're a big Stargirl fan.
Well, no, because it introduced the characters, the JSA and stuff in there, so it tied in. And then she went into the JSA books, the Glare ones before Jeff Johns took over.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm enjoying that stuff. And
yeah, I really want to check out Jeff Johns' JSA run. That is a bucket list series to read.
No matter what got you into reading it, you're reading it.
Right,
That's
right.
all it is.
Let's see. Dragon Ball Talk shows up. Hey, good to see you, Dragon Ball. He says, hopefully we'll get to see some action scenes. And Marani says, you missed lots of action scenes before this, Dragon Ball.
He did. He showed up late.
He says, damn, I was watching my buddy play a game. I missed it. It's not a bad issue, I guess. Melissa's taken off. She says, good night. I don't know if she still can hear me, but Melissa, to have a good night. Thanks for showing up, and hopefully you had a good time. Marani says, if I recall right, all the lines got an issue number 0. Then they got the number 1 to start the lines over. Yes, sort of, but they didn't call it issue 0. They called it 1. So it was really confusing when you go look in the back issue bins, because it has the DC Rebirth trade dress, and it'll be like DC Rebirth Aquaman number 1. But then Aquaman number 1 will say like Aquaman number 1, but above it says DC Rebirth because all the books had and so if you don't understand how it's supposed to look, you could mistake the two number ones.
The top title says Rebirth in it. If it doesn't have Rebirth in it, then it's the first issue.
Yeah, if they should have done a 0, that would have just made things way easier. I don't know why.
They should have said one shot.
Or they could have said one shot, but if they would have done a 0, at least you would always know. Like, this is 0 comes before 1. It's so simple. Numbers are so simple. I don't know why they make it hard.
Or pilot issue.
Lord says, I'm always watching and judging. Nice. Ronnie says, no, Namor is a halfie too. He's half human, half Atlantean, because true Atlanteans were blue in the Marvel mythos. His mom was Atlantean, dad was a human sailor.
Oh, so they both like sailors.
Well, also, we find out Namor is also a mutant.
Ah, that's true.
He's a mutie.
And he has wings on his feet. So weird.
FF2
Like,
says, "This is what I wanted from a comic, a character-driven story." Yes, that's
so
what
so
Rebirth all was.
if you were to fight Neymar, would you just go for his like Achilles heel, his wings, just rip them off? Ah, can't fly. That's not about that. Do, do, do. Harley, FF2 says Harley Quinn slept around with her professors in college to get good grades. And it's like, wasn't that smart? Well, that's comic book. I was talking about animated series because that's her first appearance was the animated series. Then she went into comics.
Well,
And
maybe she slept around with the
no,
professors.
but who wrote that? Was that Carl Kessel or was that Connor giving her that background where she slept around with her professors?
I
Or
don't know.
was that Sean Gordon Murphy?
I have no. I don't know. I even know. I don't.
Oh,
It kind of makes sense because you're like, wow, why Harley Quinn should be a lot smarter than she is, but she's kind of dumb, and you're like, oh, okay.
I always thought it was because the chemical messed up her brain. That's like the Joker when he fell in the chemical, so the bad ass, whatever we
But
call
she
it.
didn't have chemical. She just went loony.
Oh, that's right. In the animated series, she just painted it.
Yeah, she just
Did
she
body
just
paint.
got like suckered
Ooh.
into his like psychosis and just like I feel like Harley Quinn was always mentally ill, but like always like kept in check because society. But when she started hanging around with the Joker, she's like let loose, and she just went full blown crazy. Yeah, Harley Quinn is. Why do we not even talk about this character? DC just made her stupid. Well, that's
she
it.
She talks to a stuffed beaver. That was Jim Palmiotti and Amanda Connor's contribution to Harley Quinn. She talks to a stuffed beaver.
One thing we didn't check out before we go, sales. Let's see if any sales going on. Nick Fury sale. I wonder if they have the Hickman Shield books. I've been wanting to.
Are any
get those.
Any Thundercats books going on sale? The director of the Godzilla, this one is Congress-Zilla, is doing I guess an animated movie of Thundercats, not a live action, from my understanding. So I really enjoyed this movie though, the God King Congress-Zilla, whatever. So my hope is that he does this, and because he's claiming out of the articles, I'm a super fan of Thundercats. If he makes a Thundercats roar, he is going to be a marked man. That's all I'm going to say. Not from me, but there's a lot of people who love Thundercats, and I don't want it to become like a Michael Bay.
Are you saying they're doing a live action Thundercats?
They're doing a Thundercats movie.
Oh my goodness!
And as I said, I do not want a Michael Bay Transformers with Thundercats. Thundercats and humans working together. No. Just Thundercats. That's all I want. No humans. Don't do the whole Transformers route where they have to have humans.
Don't do a live action Thunder. It's gonna be like. Did you see the Cats movie?
Well, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be live action. I think it's gonna be animated, 2D.
Okay, animated. But oh my god, all I can think of is Cats. And if you do live action Thundercats, it's gonna be freaking Furry Central.
Oh snap! Thundercats roar.
Did you see the Cats movie?
Do you think I want to have that mental image?
It's creepy AF.
I don't.
And I liked the play, like the Hollywood play. It's one of the few Hollywood plays, or not Hollywood. Sorry.
Somebody edited it and.
Why did I say Hollywood? One of the few Broadway plays that I've ever seen in my life, like live. Cats, and it's great. But the movie, it's too like Uncanny Valley. Like they made like, yeah, it's like it's creepy as fuck.
Yeah. Somebody edited the Cats movie and put pink buttholes on them. It just totally ruined it for me even more. I was like, no, I'm good.
I thought that was actually part of the original thing.
I thought so too, but I heard it was edited.
I heard that they had to edit it out. I thought that was like the part of the original thing, and then people were like, "What the f?" And they're like, "Oh, okay, we'll take it out."
I don't know, man. But a lot of furry people were happy about that movie. That's all I'm gonna say. Taylor Swift's a cat in there. I get to see her naked. No, you don't.
Avengers books are on sale. Oh, means I can maybe get all the. I should read these Hickman Avengers. I've heard that they're pretty good.
Okay, it was Paul Dini that wrote Mad Love, the comic, and the episode, is what FF2 is saying. And Ronnie's saying that background, I think, was in Mad Love, or Mad Love, which I think is a Dini book. I'm not sure. I have Harley Quinn fatigue from too much exposure. And then Ronnie also says, that being said, I want to see Harley Quinn Suicide Squad 7 going forward in the voting because it's actually better of the two, which is in the bracket. And Skip Sabotage says, if it's not the original Harley, I can't care.
If it's not original Harley, yeah. Original Harley, Paul Dini, I accept. Harley Quinn as Joker sidekick, great.
Don't you want to ride your...
Speaking of great, and speaking of Skip and Tosh, which is really synonymous of each other.
Is he on sale?
No, but he is a Hickman aficionado. And I have the Jonathan Hickman comics that I'm looking at on sale over here at Comixology. They have the Avengers by Jonathan Hickman, Volume 1 and 2 on sale.
Are you going to share with the rest of the class?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
You're just seeing a delay. If you're watching live, for you, because you're on the mic, everyone else is hearing it.
I was going to say, let's make it sure, because sometimes you do that.
So they have the Hickman things on sale. I'm not sure if this is worth picking up, but I've heard good things. Oh, the art looks really good. Look at this. Oh,
looks fancy.
This is really good. Who did the art on here? Mike Diodato. Diodato, asshat.
I almost got the Marvel Avengers poster, whereas all of them on there, but they were missing someone. I forgot. That's what I said. It was all the Marvel characters except for the white Nick Fury. I was like, nope, I'm done. I ain't buying it. I almost bought it too because every single Marvel character on the poster, but it didn't have white Nick Fury. It had the black one on there. It was like, really? You don't include, and I hate that. Either you do all of them, or you don't do it at all. But
I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
No, there was Avengers. It was not Avengers poster, but it was a Marvel poster for the Marvel Universe. And
you gotta just have one. You can't have two Nick Furies.
Yeah, you can.
How?
Draw one next to the other one. Just like you draw normal She-Hulk, and you draw whatever this abomination is. Separate them. It's the same person.
Yeah, I'm just not sure I want to pull the trigger on Avengers. The first two books are on Unlimited. I guess I could just read one of them. But here's the problem. By the time I read it, the sale will be over and I'll miss out. But I guess
I like the Mighty Avengers back in the day. When it was back where when Ares was on the team.
No, but I'm just I like Jonathan Hickman, and you can get these big deluxe books here that are like 12 issues.
Isn't that the one that's
one for like $5?
The one with the circle, isn't that the one that stole the logo from another comic book? Or am I thinking something else?
The one with the circle? What?
Oh, the Avengers logo. Wasn't that a logo that was from a different comic book? Or was that, or am I thinking of a different one?
I have no... Is it from the Avengers? That's the Avengers logo.
No, back in the day, or they copied a logo. Marvel blatantly copied a logo from a different company.
Oh. I am not familiar. And apparently Skip didn't answer my question. So I am just going to have to back away. Back away.
But yeah, the gold Avengers right there, that's Bendis. And I know by the logo, because I'm just traumatized by those logos.
Ronnie says, I hate Diodato's art. He made Bendis' run on Iron Man spectacularly unreadable with dark and unnecessarily confusing page layouts. I just think that Diodato's an ass clown and treats fans like shit, and he blocks me.
Wait, we're able to do that?
What?
Block you?
Oh, yeah, so many creators block me.
Hey, it's Pink Nick Fury. I like that.
There's a big Godzilla sale if you are into the kaiju stuff. Look at this.
You know what? I've been looking at the Dragon Age books because I love the video games. I'm just wondering how bad the books are. Because I
don't
know
I resist spin-off stuff. Like it better be amazing.
Skip, Skip was praising the Cyberpunk, wasn't he?
I know. I'm thinking about checking out the Cyberpunk because Skip has been giving it such high praise, and I'm like, okay, I'll maybe check this out. But it has to be that way. Like I had 6 months of promoting Blade Runner before I finally was like, all right, I'll check this out. Oh, and by the way, someone had asked in the chat earlier about Scott Pilgrim. They thought, forget who it was, did Scott Pilgrim. Whoever it was that you said in the chat, it wasn't them. It's Brian Lee O'Malley did Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah. I thought it was Brian K. whatever, what Hicks or whatever.
Yeah, Brian K. Vaughan was who. Oh, look. They're having a boys sale again. So, yeah, read the... so good. Not for everyone, but if you're okay with violence, you either like Garth Ennis or you don't, I think. Invincible, of course, is still on sale because the show. Which reminds me, I'm going to be going to...
Which probably the best time to buy when it's on sale like this, because once the show is done, it probably go back to the price.
I want to get the Shield books that are the Hickman Shield books, but they have a stupid Nick Fury sale and they don't have those books. So screw you, Marvel. Screw you wherever you came from. Well, Garth Ennis did a Nick Fury book? You're just talking about Garth Ennis. It sounds rad.
Garth Ennis could do a My Little Pony, I'd probably read it.
I do like Garth Ennis.
I'm just saying, whenever what he touches, he just makes it awesome. So, like, imagine My Little Pony by Garth Ennis.
Did you get a chance to participate or watch when I did the that Sarah book?
Yeah, I liked it.
So good. Yeah. So different than Garth Ennis. If you're anyone listening, if you are like, Garth Ennis isn't my cup of tea, whatever, because you've read like Boys or you've read his Punisher or you read his Hellblazer books.
Hellblazer, yep.
I can understand, but Sarah is a totally different style book. It's a World War II book, but it doesn't have like the Garth Ennisisms, as I would call them. It's a very straightforward book.
Cool. Yeah, Garth Ennis is straight up gore, like people getting their arms or legs chopped off.
It does have some violence in it, but it's like more like war violence. It's not it wasn't the gratuitous boys kind of violence or the Punisher stuff where you're just like, whoa, shock value. And I don't know.
Also Steve Epting art, wasn't it?
Yeah, Steve Epting, beautiful art. I just want to promote that book again. I did a story time thing on it where I read the book. I was blown away. Like, I think it's the best thing I've ever read from Garth Ennis.
So we're some people
potentially. Yeah. Skip says the physical Shield books are pretty easy to find. Yeah, I could go that route.
If you like,
I'm starting to ease back on buying floppies, even back issues, because it's just a physical space issue. It's like I only have so many boxes, and it just fill up quick. So like digital is a good route for me because digital doesn't eat up space.
You said you're paying $6 and then you're just to rent it, right? Until they take it off. Whatever like Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Volume 2 is like $6.79. You'd have to pay like that, and then if they decide like, well, that book's no longer in the Comixology library, you can't go back and read it.
No. So you can no longer buy it, but if you own it, you can still access your books. So if for some reason Marvel pulls, something off the library they're not selling, like if you have the copy, you'll still maintain your copy. Now, if Amazon goes out of business and Comixology just goes away, then yes, you could lose your books. Now, some books you have DRM free versions, so you can download the books.
That's good.
Additionally, I have zero problem downloading my own copies of books that I buy, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's, to me, it's not pirating. If you own the book and you're just getting a digital copy of it, like, you're not really stealing the, like, you're just getting yourself a copy of the book that you have
You're
already.
your,
So I have no problem doing that.
Speaking of which, I gotta buy myself one of those printers they use for scanning pages. You ever see that? When they scan the digital files, you just you should look at that process when they have the books. Because they do that for the libraries. They're making digital copies of books. Insane.
You're saying
people
people take, they print out their own books?
No. They take the physical book and how they put it into a device, and the device does it for you. It flips it for you, like a computer thing, and it scans each page for you. Instead of you taking it to a copy machine, putting it flat down.
Well, that's kind of silly, because then you just get scanned copies of printed pages. It's not quite as good. The digital pages are better. You don't actually have the print artifacts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Skip says a good amount of image books allow you to download the CBZ file. That is correct. Yeah, image is a good one at that. A lot of the independents will let you download. It's not determined by Amazon or Comixology. The publisher decides whether they want to allow their books to be downloaded or not. And you can... I got a frog in my throat.
That's what Miss Piggy said.
Right?
Oh!
So when you have a book, it's like right down here, usually underneath the button. So like, I guess the best way to show, go into my books, and let's see, a book that I own. I'm pretty sure I own Reborn. Oh, actually, the best way to go would be browse my library. I hate the way that they do this. Oh, jeez. East of West, I think, does it. So this is such a great radio, as they say. As I just sit here and click on shit and wait. People are like, I'm bored to death. So East of West, number 1. No, I don't want to read the book. Stop. So I go here, viewing the store. I don't know why the Comixology app works so good. I don't understand why the website. Yeah, so okay, here you go. So I own this book. This is what it looks like when you own the book. I could just click the read button. But down here, you have a DRM-free backup. So I can click PDF or CBZ, and I can just download the books. I've never clicked on this link before. Manage my backups. So yeah, so a lot of books. Yeah, here we go. Oh, okay, this is a way to go. So this will show you every book that you can. So this is a simpler way. So I could go through my library. You can see I have 299 books that are DRM free. So I could download all of these.
That's good. I was wondering if they give you an option on it, because sometimes you don't get that option whatsoever to download it.
Usually with DC and Marvel, that's the problem. But most of the other books, as you can see...
Well, yeah, Marvel and DC, I would assume they're cash...
yeah.
I don't want to swear on here. Can't... Well, they're
greedy.
They're grubby little... grubby little...
Yeah. So...
Yeah.
Anyways, that's that. I'm going to wrap this stream up. I want to thank you again, Venkman. It was a fun conversation talking with you. Thank you guys in the chat for coming in and talking. Good to see you, FF2. I hadn't seen you in a while. Hope you return. We're going to be doing Tuesday night. We'll be talking more, or we'll be reading more Aquaman, and we'll get more into the book sooner. I won't wait till late. to start reading this time. We'll read 2 issues as I talked about. Also, just a self-promotion. Tomorrow, I have been invited on Purchase Stream. So you may or may not already watch Purchase Friday night stream that he does every week. But I will be on there. It's 4:30 Pacific time. So please come check it out. I always have fun on his stream. I always feel like they turn out pretty well. So hopefully you enjoy that. And
I got Extreme Movie Show. We're doing a live stream talking about Godzilla. Should be spoiler free for the most part. And then on Puppeteen's channel, we're going to be talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, new episode.
Are you promoting over me?
I'm promoting under you.
If you don't want to watch me, go watch Venkman as he promotes himself for his Friday stuff. No. Thank you guys for being here. It's definitely a privilege to have anyone watching my stuff. And I hope to see you soon. And that's it. Say goodnight, Venkman.
Good night, Venkman.